Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. I'd like to share these words by one of my favorite colleagues and mentors, Sue Phillips. Our congregations are voluntary associations in that members and friends participate according to their conscience. No one is compelled by creedal requirement, eschatological fear, how's that for a word, or priestly mandate to join a Unitarian Universalist congregation. But we are nonetheless called to engage in religious community. Whether by individual conscience, justice-seeking community, or by God, Unitarian Universalism teaches that we are called to create beloved community in community. Our theologies may differ about what or who is calling us, but we are united in a belief that we are part of an interdependent web of existence. This call, wherever it comes from and however it manifests in our individual lives, is that which compels us to come together. There is no such thing as a Unitarian Universalist by themselves. Our faith is practiced in covenanted community. It's a bold thing to claim that people can't really be Unitarian Universalists by themselves. A person can claim Unitarian Universalist beliefs, but if they are not part of a covenanted community, they have not been claimed back. I love that about claiming this as our community and being claimed back by one another. And as I prepared for this service, I thought about how we claim each other back and how we accompany each other through the stories of our individual lives and the larger sacred story of being human in this world and in this time. We ask who and what needs our attention, our hope, our compassion, our witness and our voice, our grief, our joy. And as I look at the names of those who we are honoring today, I think of the blessing of being able to be part of your lives through these years. And as I read the names, I think about those among you who came as children, who stayed as adults, who brought your own children, and even your grandchildren here. Those among you who came for your children and have stayed after they have grown and found a home elsewhere. And you have found a home for yourselves here. I think of those among you who have welcomed your children while you have been here, and how we have blessed them and been blessed to watch them grow up among us. I think of those among you who have suffered loss and heartbreak and have had to find a way back to meaning and hope, and how we have accompanied you in that. I think of those among you who came to First Parish and left for a while and have come back again and refound a home here. Those among you who have recently found First Parish, our first post-pandemic members, because we're almost there. And finally, I will say by name a couple who have been part of First Parish for 50 years, Akiko and Shunichi Sano, who have touched every part of this building and this congregation through the decades. And I don't have time to name everything that you have done, but among other many things, Akiko founded the Caring Connection and Lunch with the Rev, and she made incredibly beautiful and intricate May baskets, led the holiday fair, rang in the bell choir, and taught us all how to make origami cranes in the name of peace. I met Shunichi as the Zen master of scrambled eggs. in the hot back room during July 4th breakfast, where he would be for many May and July 4th breakfasts. How he shared the bounty of his garden and his cucumbers that grew in the shape of stars and hearts. And how at every water communion, you would get up and remind us of the life cycle of a drop of water with your sparkling sense of humor and your wonderful smile. Both of you brought your children and your grandchildren here, delighting us with their gifts in talents in the arts and in music. So thank you both so, so much. It's good to have you here today. So, it's important to remember that we are a religious community, a place where we seek together to identify what gives fundamental meaning and fulfillment to human life. We walk not just with one another, but with the generations that came before, and if we are wise and good stewards, with the generations who will come after us. We walk together in commitment and discernment of what it means to live out the covenant and values of our religious tradition. Ours is a tradition which trusts that there is a common good to which all of us should have access and for which each of us holds a responsibility for strengthening and nurturing as we are able. Belonging to this community is also belonging to the Unitarian Universalist religion and being willing to stand and be counted among those who value human worth and dignity, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, listening to the voices with less or even no power, as well as the voices with, and caring for this life and this world. These are not necessarily popular or easy values to embrace and to claim or be claimed by. But for all of you, whether you are a new member, 50 years, everything in between, a friend, someone who is here for the first time, thank you for walking with us. Thank you for keeping in covenant through all these years that have been and the years that will come.